So good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for giving this opportunity to give this presentation for the Redware contribution for the data center and the cloud computing. In the e-governance initiatives, whether it is central MMP or state or integrated or state data centers, RAPDRP projects. So Redware technology is the part of all these prestigious projects are there. So let's go through how the Redware technology can fit it into these initiatives. So when we talk about the data center, so data center this is a typical data center you see. So you have the different regional offices, your branch offices, and who are accessing the applications are hosted in the headquarter, which is called data center, and the users are coming from the internet as well. So as you mentioned, the e-governance projects are picking up in the country, and more online applications are coming up. Then more and more, demand are coming on the data center sites also. More bandwidths you require, more applications you require, more hardware you require. Then it is creating a challenge also for the data center point of view, the availability, performance, and the security. Because once most of the applications are online, we cannot afford to have a single minute downtime for this application. So how we can achieve application availability, performance, and security? So these are some of the data center operational challenges are there, whether switch links are failing every day, application software need to be upgraded, network elements should be upgraded. So a lot of interruptions required in the data center services, but how we can manage without affording, single minute downtime. So what we should work toward for? Let's look at, so what is our requirement? First, create an application, define the service SLA. This is very important these days because we are hosting multiple applications in the data centers, and each application owner want to give the guaranteed service level SLAs to my user. Define the security SLA, means how we can secure the applications hosted in the data center. And then monitor and reporting also. So let's consider the moving from the traditional data centers to the virtualized data centers, so we can use the optimized resources can be used in the better optimum way. So considering the two layers is there, one is the network fabric you have, then the computing fabric, which consists of the servers, applications, and we are giving the services for the different applications. But when we talk about the SLAs for each applications, there is one layer is missing here, which is called the application delivery layer or application security. How we can give the performance to the each applications hosted in the data centers, the security to the applications hosted in the data centers, and this layer is called ADC, application delivery layer, which is, this layer is giving you the server load balancing, means for each applications you will have the multiple applications to avoid a single point of failures and to give the better performance so that more user requests can be handled by the applications. Then the accelerations also. You want to give the better performance to your applications in terms of the TCP accelerations, SSL offloading, because due to the online transactions, most of the applications are the SSL based applications. When you talk about the SSL based application like HTTPS or other applications, you need a lot of resources from the computing like memory, CPU, so you cannot scale well. How we can offload this to the other layer, and then we can handle more requests in the data center for these applications. And of course the security. So imagine that you could shape your data centers. What are the components you are looking for? Provisioning of a new applications, which means guaranteed customer experience. Securing the services means reduce the operational complexity as well. So this is now a reality. we have seen a lot of data centers are the virtualized data centers now to use in the virtualized environment, and which is covering all this components, application availability, security, and the performance. So we create applications, we are defining the service SLA now, and defining the security SLA, and monitoring and reporting for that. So now we have created a lot of virtualized data centers working in silos also, like SDCs as mentioned in the beginning. How we can integrate all these data centers and create a cloud for that. So, and then we can give infrastructure as a service, ADC as a service, or security as a service. The applications are hosted in the cloud environment. So what are the cloud providers looking for? First, improve customer experience and employee productivity. Enhance business agility, means we can roll out the application very quick, fast. Increase your revenues. Maintain low application infrastructure cost. So these are the components we are looking for from the cloud computing. And how we can add into that, there is a small video. Can we have the sound, please?
First, implementing server virtualization, increasing OpEx and CapEx savings, improving server utilization, and maximizing management efficiency. Next come virtualizing and consolidating the network, gaining similar benefits. This evolution has a major impact on the ADC's role, position, and deployment models, creating a need for a new application delivery paradigm. Radware introduces Virtual Application Delivery Infrastructure, named VADI, to address this need. Radware VADI architecture consists of 4 building blocks: VADCs, computing resources, VADI services, and integration into the virtual data center ecosystem. The core of Radware's VADI is a virtual ADC instance named VADC, which is separate from the computing resource on which it runs. Each VADC provides a complete set of application delivery features, such as server load balancing and acceleration. Radware offers 3 types of ADC computing resources. The first is a dedicated physical appliance running a single VADC designed for hybrid data centers. The second is Radware ADC VX, the industry's first ADC hypervisor, allowing it to run multiple VADCs on specialized ADC hardware designed for virtualized data centers and ADC consolidation projects. The third type is a soft ADC running on VMware server virtualization infrastructure designed for cloud providers and virtualized data centers. Radware VADI transforms computer resources, ADC, and virtualization services into an integrated, agile, and scalable application delivery virtualization infrastructure. Radware VADI extends the virtual data center agility through a set of virtual infrastructure services such as instant provisioning, VADC migration, and dynamic VADC resource allocation. Radware VADI is fully integrated to the data center ecosystem using the vDirect plugin. vDirect plugin integration to the orchestration systems enables workflow automation and end-to-end service creation. Radware VADI is offered as software and on-demand upgrade. Users can upgrade VADC throughput and capacity on demand, upgrade the VADC advanced services on demand, add new VADC instances on demand, and also scale out of the data center when more capacity is needed, all with no service disruption. Radware Virtual Application Delivery Infrastructure provides maximum business agility, high IT efficiency, and best investment protection. Radware VADI makes your application delivery virtualization ready.
Okay. So, considering the requirement, the industry is providing you a lot of, because the higher capacity devices are required to cater such demand. So there are the devices are available in the market. If you consider, catering the throughput requirement up to 320 Gbps So which is because once we are talking about the virtualization, cloud computing, then you are consolidating all the data centers to one big data center. So if we talk, then we need such devices to cater this demand. So this is one of the examples what we discussed already. So you are giving the cloud services to different customers, and then by putting the Radware ADC or this ADC technology, we can give the SLA for different customers. So the most diversified, flexible, cost-effective ADC offering for the cloud providers. So what we discussed till now, it was the ADC layer which will give you the availability and the performance. Now what about the security? What are the new trends into the security of this cyber space? So let's consider some of the examples. If you see every day in the news, or very frequently these days, what happens like WordPress recovers from the huge DDoS attacks, distributed denial of service attacks. WikiLeaks, it was the famous attacks happened, which the anonymous group wrote down the sites of the MasterCard and the Visa cards for the days. And if you see the trend, what is happening like last few years, if you're considering like 4 years, 5 years back, the confidentiality and the integrity were the top priority. But now availability is the top priority. So in today's online world, when availability is threatened, it has severe impact of the business performance and the operations. If my data center is down due to DDoS attacks, that means the application is not available to my users, which are impacting the business, business completely. So if you see why the availability-based threats are on the rise, the reason, simple reason is the kind of the attacks are happening in that. One is denial of service attacks, server-side injections are happening, and distributed denial of service attacks are the major part, playing the major part for the availability. So DDoS attacks are not rare occasions on few organizations, and organizations should expect to be under attack. So there are a lot of frequent attacks are happening. I think every week there is a news in that the DDoS are happening. Significant change in the threat landscape as DDoS and DOS are becoming the top risk. On average, DDoS attacks cost companies approximately 3.5 million annually, depending on the business. So considering some attack campaigns are happening. So if you see previously only the simple attacks were happening, only one vector attacks, let's say if they are intruding into the applications, stealing the data with one vector only, but the recent attacks are the multi-vector attacks. So considering like Visa card and the MasterCard attacks, it was the 4 attack vectors were there. So the floodings were there, intrusion were there, and then DDoS were there. Considering the other attacks also which happened in the Hong Kong Stock Exchange as well, it was again for the 3 days, but it was having the 5 different attack vectors were there. And like in India also, like Operation India was the new, it was in the news. It was the 5 different attack vectors were there, and a lot of government sites were threatened or were down during this attack. So again, how the Radware is protecting, is giving the solutions to counter these challenges is there.
But here's why you might not. Security managers are required to fight a multitude of threats which target every layer of the business infrastructure. Each layer is critical for the business revenue generation and operation. Recent attacks show that attackers employ multi-vulnerability attacks campaigns which target the application infrastructure in several layers, making mitigation nearly impossible. For example, breaking into the Fed resulted in 400,000 stolen credit cards. The attacker gained intelligence through network and vulnerability scanning prior to the theft. The anonymous group launched the WikiLeaks revenge attacks, shutting down financial websites using multi-vulnerability DDoS attack campaign. Even if only one of the attack vectors infiltrates, the business is damaged. In order to combat the increasing threat landscape, security managers are required to deploy multiple detection and protection tools, including DOS protection, network behavioral analysis, intrusion prevention system, IP reputation, and web application firewall. But multiple tools increase costs and leave you exposed to blind spots between them. Radware's attack mitigation system offers a complete set of integrated security modules: DOS protection, NBA, IPS, reputation engine, and WAF to fully safeguard the application infrastructure against emerging network threats. Running on dedicated hardware, it thwarts multi-million packets per second attacks while maintaining excellent user quality of experience. Built-in security event management collects events from all modules and correlates them to provide enterprise-centric view of real-time and historical security status, ensuring there are no blind spots in between the security modules. In case of zero-day and DDoS attacks outbreak, our emergency response team provides 24/7 security expert services for hands-on attack mitigation assistance in order to restore service operational status. Here's an example of a multi-vulnerability attack campaign against Amazing Deals, an online business selling deal of the day coupons. John, the security manager, can see that the site is under high-risk attacks using the real-time monitoring view. Within seconds, Radware's AMS activates DOS protection, NBA, and IPS to mitigate the threat. John then drills down to the attack details to see that AMS has generated a real-time signature blocking attack traffic only. Isabella, the security specialist, can create a new security alert that will notify her in future events of multi-vulnerability attacks based on correlation of events. John can check the e-business compliance readiness by generating PCI compliance reports or even a checklist per PCI requirement. All are out-of-the-box reports. Radware provides an integrated attack mitigation system backed up with our emergency response team to make sure you have security covered.
Okay. Again, because of the data center virtualization and other things, if you see the maximum capacity of the NIPS devices in the market is around 10 Gbps or the 12 Gbps is the maximum. But there is a demand to the industry now to come up with the higher throughput of the NIPS devices as well. So Radware has come up with the solution of the up to the 40 Gbps throughput for the NIPS, which is required for these kind of data centers. So considering that, what we have seen is, I am protecting our data centers and giving the services to multiple customers. So what will happen, let's say if there is a DDoS attacks, my complete data center bandwidth which is connected to the internet is completely choked, which is affecting both the customers or all applications. How we can handle that? So you need some kind of a scrubbing centers or the security as a service. So if there is a attack for any particular customer, only this traffic will go to the scrubbing center, get inspected there, get cleaned, and come back to the data center. So in that way, we are not affecting the SLA for the each customers. Otherwise, the attack on the one customer can affect the other customer SLA as well. So if you see, this is the last point. Even if we have the technology ready, so first thing is that you need the audit policies, technologies, but at the time of the attack, still you need the human expertise. And how this expertise can help you, to find out the right to protect your infrastructure at the time of the attack. So there is a video. This is called emergency response team.
ERT is an emergency response team which operates 24/7 with the sole purpose of mitigating DOS attacks for other customers or potential ones.
We've seen a government agency that was attacked and was shut down for 2 days by the anonymous group for political reasons, or as they call it, hacktivism. We've also seen gaming and gambling sites that were attacked by angry users who lost money and tried to get their money back with this action.
The team is comprised of cyberspace security experts which are very well familiar with all possible attack vectors, ready upon call to characterize any attack and implement solutions in real time.
We developed an innovative approach. The best defense is an offense. In traditional security, you stop attacks by dropping the attacking packets. However, we developed counterattack techniques that slow down or even shut down the attackers, so they give up and move to other targets.
We had an interesting case at a certain government agency recently.
Do you mean the one where we played both sides?
Yes. We had about 10 hours to prepare, so we divided the work between us.
Yotam took the attacking side and I took the defense. I started preparing a configuration for the customer while he searched for information on forums and IRC channels.
In the IRC channel, we found information about target and time, and also what tool was going to be used. I was able to download the tool and join the attackers in order to monitor all that was going on. By the time the attack started, we had a war room with both attacker and defender sides ready and waiting.
And we were online with the customer after tuning the protections based on the intelligence we gathered in advance. Then the attack started, comprising of distributed TCP, UDP and HTTP floods in very high volumes. We could already see our behavioral models blocking many attackers.
On the attacker side, the tool was constantly changing the patterns, and I was recording and generating patterns to be implemented on the device.
Once we implemented a new pattern, you could see the device immediately blocking it.
The attack lasted for about 3 hours, in which the website was up the whole time.
Defense won again.
The UT advantage is the experience from the vast amount of attacks handled by the team, the various inputs it listens to, and the deep understanding of the motivations behind the attacks. The team is also an expert with broader products, and the attack mitigation system in particular. This combination puts them in the best place to handle any possible attack.
Thank you.